Unconditional surrender, that is the ultimatum Donald Trump has given Iran as the world waits to see whether or not the US will weigh into the escalating conflict in the Middle East.
Another night of unrelenting attacks over Tel Aviv and Tehran. Iran claiming to have unleashed for the first time its deadly hypersonic Fatah bomb, which it says will be the beginning of the end of the Iron Dome, giving them complete control of Israel's skies. That move coming in response to a post from Donald Trump asserting we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran.
Right. Who's we? Does he mean the United States is now actively controlling the skies over Iran? Does he mean Israel?
And Trump's got a game-changing weapon of his own, the US's bunker-busting bomb, the only thing capable of wiping out an Iranian nuclear plant buried deep beneath a mountain.
Large airdrop munitions that are capable of penetrating hard and deeply buried targets.
The president reportedly pondering whether to bring the US into the conflict, following a national security briefing in the White House's Situation Room overnight. Trump today posting,
"Unconditional surrender. We know exactly where the so-called Supreme Leader is hiding. We are not going to take him out, kill, at least not for now. Our patience is wearing thin."
If Trump goes and insists on surrender, if talks even take place, I think he will ensure war.
The uncertainty of what's to come sparking terror amongst everyday Iranians.
I've been speaking to a number of Iranians in Tehran who have talked about this kind of all-consuming fear of the not knowing.
As both the political posturing and the conflict on the ground ramp up, many signs are now pointing to all-out war.
We will show the Zionists no mercy. The battle begins.
Our mission is clear: to remove the threat at its source.
They should have done the deal. I told them, do the deal. So I don't know, I'm not too much in the mood to negotiate.
Well, CEO of the US Studies Centre, Michael Green, was part of the National Security Council for 4 years, and he joins us now. Michael, you've been inside the Situation Room when these types of talks have been happening. So what would it have been like in there?
Well, the president, Donald Trump, his Secretary of State, National Security Advisor, and so forth would be around a table. They would be surrounded by giant computer screens that would show maps of the Middle East, maybe tracking where U.S. military assets are, and there are a lot of them, a carrier strike group, refueling planes, bombers and fighters, probably satellite imagery to show the damage from the Israeli attacks. And they would be going over options. Now, Donald Trump is an unconventional president. This might not be how he's doing it, but usually the staff would be providing options papers saying, here are the risks and potential opportunities from different courses of action. Actually bombing Iran, pushing for negotiations, stepping back, letting Israel do it. They'd be debating all that, but probably very intensely, because within Trump's inner circle, there are very, very different views on Israel and the use of force in the Middle East.
Right, on that, this is a huge part of the question. All of that taken into consideration, what do you think the likelihood is of the US wading into this militarily? I'm not trying to escape the question. It's a very close call. It's pretty clear that the American public does not want a broader war with Iran. Donald Trump has promised to be the president who keeps America out of wars. And so I suspect that all this military power will be used to pressure Iran to come to the negotiating table, to give up its nuclear weapons capability, to actually allow inspections and a verifiable dismantlement of their weapons programs. The problem is Iran has never, ever come close to agreeing with that. They have said they're willing to talk. And if they're not willing to do that, then I think that there will be consideration given to using these massive bunker busters. So that will be the debate. So I don't expect an attack from the U.S. soon, but if Iran is intransigent, I think you have to consider it as a real possibility.
Michael, how would U.S. involvement either shape the stability or instability of the region? Well,
Iran is really on its back foot. I mean, Israel has just pummeled them over the past year. First, of course, by attacking Hamas in the Gaza Strip, then by decapitating the leadership of Hezbollah in Lebanon with those pagers that all blew up at once. Iran has lost its proxies in Syria, and the Houthis while still fighting, are being heavily bombed, including by the US, but also by Israel. So in a broader sense, Iran is in a very, very weak position. And Iran is a serious menace and threat to the region. It's an existential threat to Israel. The Iranian regime has predicated its existence on the elimination of Israel as a state and the killing of the Jews. So existential for Israel. But Iran's intentions on the region are to undermine Saudi Arabia, the Gulf states, destroy Israel, create a sphere of influence that would be absolutely dangerous, not only for the US, but for Australia or any international economy that relies on energy, sea routes, and stability. So there's risk, enormous risk in escalation towards a greater war. But Iran is a big risk, and Iran with nuclear weapons is a much greater risk. So that's why I suspect they are really seriously weighing whether or not the US should take out that last piece of the Iranian program the Israelis can't reach.
Michael, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.